Today on Carolina News, thunderstorms are expected to rip through the Midlands. We'll tell you when you should prepare for those storms. Plus, living testimonies. A proposed bill could outlaw abortion in South Carolina. We have some of the passionate testimonies from today's hearing. And blazing debate. Both sides of the heated medical marijuana debate voiced their opinions on the proposed bill last night.
Marijuana killed my soul, plus ruined my brain.
All of that and more on Carolina News.
Live from the capital city, Carolina News brings you your news first. With breaking news and in-depth reporting. Up-to-the-minute weather. And all your sports news and highlights. It's all here, now, on Carolina News.
Hello and good afternoon. I'm Jada Williams.
Hello, thanks for joining us. I'm Brian Solomon.
Storms have rolled into the Midlands, drenching the capital city. But how long will these rains last? For more on the downpours, let's take it to our weather reporter, Eric Cirillo.
That is right, Jada. It is pouring down rain right now. You know, it was sunny earlier in the day, but those clouds moved in fast and they have completely taken over. And currently we're on a thunderstorm watch. If you take a look behind me, you can see the areas in red. That's a severe thunderstorm watch. Now, we aren't under that currently, but like I said, they are moving quickly and will be in our area tonight and into the morning. Currently, there's a flash flood warning going on for the Midlands area up until 5 tonight. Later on the show, I'll have your complete forecast along with the most up-to-date information on where those storms are and where they're headed. Jada, Brian, back to you.
More than a dozen people are dead after a truck collided with a church bus in Texas. Officials say that a pickup truck swerved into oncoming traffic on Wednesday afternoon, hitting a church bus with 13 people head-on. The victims include the driver and the passengers of the bus, but they have not yet been identified. The clash happened just over 70 miles west of San Antonio.
One Sumter man is behind bars this evening after deputies say he lit his girlfriend on fire. This man, Roy Billy Hulan, is being charged with attempted murder and aggravated domestic violence. His girlfriend was flown to the Augusta Burn Center with severe burns on her body. Despite the injuries, she is still alert and talked to the authorities.
Well, just moments ago, Republican leaders in the North Carolina General Assembly voted to repeal the bathroom law HB 2. House Speaker Tim Moore and Senate Leader Phil Berger announced they had reached a compromise with Governor Roy Cooper Wednesday night, in which the agreement would end HB 2. The state of North Carolina lost NCAA championship events this year because of the law and would not be able to host any other NCAA championship events through 2022 if the law was not repealed by today. Governor Cooper is expected to sign the repeal into law soon. The new compromise entails repealing HB 2, letting the state control bathroom policies. Local governments can pass non-discrimination ordinances, and there will be a conscience protection provision allowing people to sue if they feel the government is violating their rights.
A federal judge has extended a longer-term halt on President Donald Trump's travel ban executive order. Judge Derek Watson of Hawaii granted the state's request to extend the halt on Wednesday. This ruling puts a halt on President Trump's revised travel ban that would temporarily halt travel from 6 Muslim-majority countries. It would also halt all refugees for 120 days. Watson says he gave his verdict because it discriminates on religion.
An anti-abortion bill was argued at the State House this morning, and it brought many people with different stories and different views. Nicole Lopes was there and is now in the newsroom with a local reaction from people who support and oppose the bill. Nicole?
Bill 217 is making its way through the State House, and supporters of both sides came out to make their voice heard. This bill says that the embryo is considered human at conception, giving it full rights. If this bill were passed, abortion would no longer be legal in the state. This bill is Republican favored and says the Personhood Act is to establish the right to life for each born and preborn human being. Many people came out to show their support,
So my position is that since a person is a person starting from conception, they should be given the protection of our laws starting from the moment when they became a person.
And opposition.
We have the unborn. We have a potential for life, but we don't have a person. And so I feel strongly for the structure of our society, and probably my personal beliefs, that is not a person at that point, but just the potential for life.
A lot of emotions filled the room as people shared what the outcome of the bill would mean to them.
Parents need to continue to be able to make these heartbreaking and immensely difficult choices and allow women, like me, to make their own medical decisions. Thank you.
Speakers are eager to see where the bill will go next and hope a decision is reached soon. Close to 40 people came out to speak to legislators, but there was not enough time to hear them all. According to the State House, they will meet at a later date that will be announced by the end of the week. Back to you in the studio.
South Carolina Senator John Corson was freed on bail yesterday after being indicted earlier this month. Corson was accused of misconduct in office and using campaign funds for himself. He was released yesterday on a $16,000 bond. Corson's attorney said there was nothing improper about her client's actions, calling the money legitimate campaign expenditures. She also petitioned the court for a speedy trial in order to clear the senator's name. Until the case is resolved, Corson is suspended from the seat he has held for 33 years.
Across the Atlantic, another politician is also facing a judge today. Former South Korean President Park Geun-hye is in court facing jail time in Seoul. Park was impeached earlier this month on charges of bribery and abuse of power. The corruption scandal involves one of Park's longtime friends and members of Samsung. According to some international outlets, an arrest warrant has been issued for Park this afternoon on the grounds that she could destroy evidence.
The Gamecock men's basketball win last Sunday sent waves of people to flood the streets of 5 Points and go for a swim in the Thomas Cooper Fountain in celebration. Our Parker King investigated what preparations are being made in case of a win on Saturday.
Sunday's Elite 8 win over the Florida Gators sent crowds of fans storming the streets of Columbia in celebration. Matthew Thomas, a senior at the University of South Carolina, says it was unlike anything he has seen before.
We hit the door and we're out on the street running to Hardin Street. We were on Divine Street running to Hardin Street, and as soon as we hit that main stretch of 5 Points, it was just pandemonium, basically.
When the buzzers sounded, hundreds flooded the streets of 5 Points, leading police to block off streets.
So many people were already out there on the street, running in the streets.
Fans rallied around this fountain in 5 Points, many jumping in. The same victory swim happened here at the Thomas Cooper Fountain on campus, where hundreds of students took a dip in celebration.
After the mass celebrations following the win against Florida, safety has become a concern for Saturday's Final Four match. Jeffrey Stenslin, the director of public relations at USC, said in a statement, "The safety of our students is always our top concern. University staff, including officers from the Division of Law Enforcement and Safety, will be present before and after the games. Additionally, we will collaborate closely throughout the weekend with the city, CPD, and other public safety agencies." Columbia Police Captain Christopher Roberts says, "They're here to support a good time, but
we are prepared, and you know there are boundaries that we have to certainly enforce of the law."
Roberts says they have contingency plans in place to handle traffic and will have more officers patrolling. Thomas says he understands the concern for safety, but hopes they get the chance to celebrate again.
I'll probably go and watch in 5 Points with some of my friends, and I hope that we have the same outcome. I hope we get to celebrate again.
But police want everyone to celebrate responsibly. Parker King, Carolina News.
The game is set for Saturday at 6 p.m., and officers are expecting large crowds on campus and throughout 5 Points, no matter the outcome.
The South Carolina Supreme Court overturned an existing law yesterday that limited the amount of liquor license one company can have in South Carolina. Carolina News reporter Allison McHugh took a look at how this may affect big and small liquor stores around the Midlands.
This is one of my favorites. It's kind of dusty.
A favorite you don't see every day.
So it comes in a package like that. And then, voila.
A sword full of Armenian brandy, a gem found at Nick Kazar's local ABC store. While this is his only location, he has seen a loss in business since new retailers rolled in.
Recently, bottles opened up down the road, and I noticed that I lost about 15% of my business because bottles opened up.
And more big retailers could be creeping in because of a new change. Yesterday, the South Carolina Supreme Court overturned a law that limited alcohol distributors from having more than 3 locations in South Carolina. And while this may be good for your selection, it could be bad for local business. The case was brought by Total Wine after they were rejected from opening up their 4th location in Aiken. Total Wine's attorney Dwight Drake argued liquor licenses are no different than business licenses.
This has to do only with the ownership. Who can own liquor? And there's no reason to treat liquor any differently than any other commodity other than the effect that it has on us as humans.
Just down the road, Bottles manager Brian McCurry says the decision really doesn't affect them.
We're not the big guy on the block. Despite our appearance, we still fancy ourselves a small business, a locally owned business, and we still relate to our local community because that's what's important.
And as the 3rd location is in the future for Bottles, Brian says they're following the game-winning model.
You know, Frank Martin takes it one game at a time, and we're taking it one store at a time right now, and we're excited about the business climate.
And although Bottles isn't the enemy, Nick knows big stores have the upper hand.
The big retailers have like a better opportunity to capitalize on the new laws.
Although he hates to see his business go, he doesn't knock those who are expanding.
It's America. I mean, you can do what you want to do. It's land of opportunity, so you can't knock anybody down for what they want to do.
The law is set to go into effect in 15 days and could give businesses, big or small, new possibilities.
It gives a chance, it opens new doors, you know, also for new competition, also for you to expand your business as well.
Allison McHugh, Carolina News.
Bottles has not officially announced where their 3rd location will be in South Carolina, but as of now, they say they're sticking to 3 and focusing on their local business model.
A new form of medication might be in the future for South Carolina. We have the latest on the push in the State House for legalizing medical marijuana.
Why do some think this is a matter of life or death? Hear the latest arguments coming up on Carolina News.